How do you make money in the creative space? Or how do you help creatives make money?
That's an interesting question. First of all, my purpose in life is to help people, right? And I've come to understand that you can't help everybody and make money. So I choose to help rich people. But that doesn't stop me from helping other people too. But to your question, how do I make money? I make money by helping a lot of rich people. And do I like helping creatives? I enjoy helping creatives.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Creative Money Podcast. They call me Tanky Tank. They call her Chidera.
Big T, I wanted to introduce myself myself.
No vex.
Yeah, as he rightly said, I am Chidera, and this is the Creative Money Podcast, where we talk about money, but not in the boring fashion. We uncover unconventional, innovative, and surprisingly smart ways to build income creatively.
Yep.
Our guest today is a media and tech entrepreneur who nurtures raw creative talent and help rise them to stardom. Mr. Bamildele Ogunmekan. He's a co-founder, Red Pole Media, Buy and Bring Technology, Plan With Us NG, Daily Hire Solutions, and the Sears Management. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
About only you hold us.
Only more.
What you want to do now?
I love it.
I
love it.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm a firm believer of human beings like pushing themselves to their full potential. So I love the fact that you have many hats on. So let's start off with you giving us that journey. You understand? How did you start, and how did you manage to have those many caps you put on your head? Yeah.
Interesting. So my journey has been very, very interesting because I started life at a very young age. I used to be the rebellious kid, the kid they call the black sheep of the family. When they told me to go and read medicine, I said, no, I want to read something else. I eventually found myself reading different things. I spent a lot of time in university trying to find myself. I spent 13 years in university, actually.
13?
Exactly. Eventually finished with a degree,
Eventually.
After I finished school, I told myself, I only went to school to get the certificate from my parents. Right? So when I finished, I just packed everything. Said, have you seen it? And left this life. But as a young kid, I found out that how I thought life was is not how life is actually. So I went into the street, like they say, and I found out that on the street you have to find something legal so you are consistent. Because if you do anything illegal, you will get caught in future, or you find yourself somewhere or somehow messed up.
Yeah.
So my journey started in 2012 when I told myself I want to go into the creative industry, because back then when I was younger, when I watch a music video, I always tell myself, why did they do it this way? Why did they do it that way? Why can't they shoot it this way? Right? So I told myself, okay, instead of just talking, why don't you make an impact?
Try that.
So my first step was linking up with the popular client speakers. I started my journey as a PA.
Okay, nice.
I did that for like a year or two because I'm a very fast learner, very, very fast learner. So spent like 1 year as an assistant. I rose to the point of being a production manager for Max. I started working for other video directors like Gambit, Adasa Cookie. Eventually, I became a video producer. That took a while, for like 5 years. I did music video producing. And in 2017, I think I produced the best video in Africa. It was an Afrima Award, best video. And after I did that, I told myself, but you don't do video production of your life. This is not what you want to do. You want to do something bigger. So I went to Pan Atlantic University to study an executive program in business of filmmaking. And when I got there, I found out that there's a life hack that they taught us there. That in life, if you want to succeed in this new era, you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to sow seed. When you sow a seed, it will take time, but the seed will eventually turn into a fruit. Or not even, you first see it as a plant. Then you will now know, oh, this seed I've sown is not a plant. Let me put my effort into this. And from there, it turns to a tree. And so now start bearing fruit. So that's what springboarded my idea into starting stuff. And because of my experience in video production, I told myself, what's the best thing I can do if you are producing videos? Let me go into the corporate sector. So I called my friends then. It was hard though. I called different people that, let's start a company together. They say, what's going on? How much do you have? All those things. There's so many challenges. But I found some like-minded guys, and we started Red Pro Media in 2019. And when we started Red Pro Media first, it was very tough. If you're in the media space, you know that it's dog eat dog, wolf eat wolf. And we didn't have any clients. We're just there pitching. I think I wrote almost 1,000 proposals in 1 year. And none of them were responded to me. Until I just someone called one day and I walked into Oboz office and I told them I'm a media guy, blah 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 blah, bamboozled them with all my English. The Chinese guys were just looking at me, really. Let him be a media what they give me, like media partner.
Just like that.
That's how I started.
That's very deep.
It took like 2 or 3 weeks for the first one back discussion. So we started with Oboz. They gave us very, very unrealistic targets and all, but that was like my experience, my first experience into the corporate space of media, marketing and communication. And after that, we did that for a while, but that was not really my core because my core was producing. So I got a call one day that Maggie, the brand, wanted to do an advert in December, and they've tried every media house, big media house, they gave them the opportunity to do the visuals, and none of them got it right. So someone called me and said, "Guy, there's an opportunity. They are sending it to all the Lagos media houses. Anybody that can edit, that can get this video right, they will just jump on the person, whether you are a media company or not or whatever." So they sent it to me on Friday. I was very, very hungry. When I mean hungry, like physically hungry, mentally hungry, spiritually hungry.
I like that.
So on Friday, I just told my guys, I know that every other company will wait till Monday to sit down around table and start discussing it. Let us go ahead of them. Let us start work now. I used to work from the comfort of my house. I've always been working from my home because I didn't have the opportunity to have an office back then. So I just gathered everybody, we worked from Friday till Sunday. And Sunday evening, I just sent them a cut. But lo and behold, that's how I got a call from the head of marketing to say, this is the best thing. Can we edit it? Blah, blah, blah. And the video was out on Wednesday.
Wow.
And 2019, I think that was the best advert video of the year. So that's how I springboarded into the advert space. I started working with Nescafe, Nestle, Golden Penny, all the other brands. Started coming. Yeah, so this is called the ambulance of the media space. So when there's a challenge, it's a run to Red Media and get it right. So my tactics then was getting young creatives who know how to edit, who know how to shoot, who know how to the young ones who they born for
energy.
Who were like you at the time.
So I believe in building capacity. That's when I started grooming these guys on how to work as a creative in the corporate space. So that evolved into when you stay in creative a lot, you find out that every day, every morning, everybody just comes up with an idea. Boss, how far? I might get this idea. If you shoot bird, the bird go fly, you go enter heaven. From there, you go make 1 billion. So I was used to always hearing ideas. So that bettered buy and bring technology. So we told ourselves that a lot of people back then we noticed that a lot of solutions, the kind of solutions that we need in Nigeria that people were not thinking of. Right. So we told ourselves, okay, let us be these guys. Since we've done this in the media space, let's try and delve into technology and start seeing how we can create solutions that are bespoke made for our problems here. So that's what bettered branding technology. Moving further, we woke up one day and told ourselves, this dirty December where everybody they come Lagos every December, how can we tap into that industry? So we decided to come up with what we call Plan With Us. So whenever you want to come from abroad to Nigeria and you want to have the logistics sorted out, your hotels, your experience, you come to us and you plan with us. That's what bettered Plan With Us. For that down, we were working, and we told ourselves, there are every day in Nigeria, we have an economy where people get paid without being in the formal sector. So a plumber can wake up in the morning and get a job immediately. Or carpenters get jobs every day. So how can we turn that work mode into technology? That's what bettered Daily Hire. So it means on Daily Hire platform, if you want to hire any creative or anybody, you just go to the platform and you employ them on that day. That's what bettered Daily Hire. But like I said, before then, I was into video production and I was meeting so many creatives. And because of my corporate experience, I knew how to manage or work with these creatives right?
Yeah.
So after a period of time, I told myself, I've seen so many creatives, I've worked with so many people. How do I create a structure for these creatives to not just come and go, but to last long, to evolve, to become better? And that's what better DC as management. So that's how the journey has been from there to now.
I love that. So I mean, I put resilient, I put hungry. I think a lot of people see overnight success and think that is it. From 13 years finding yourself, to even when you came out and you handed over daddy and mommy their
Certificate.
certificates, it's still, I can see that your character as a person is someone that is a go-getter. You want to achieve and you do whatever it takes to, legally, to achieve what you have to do. That's pretty interesting. So you manage sales management. You manage one of the hottest brotherlies in the past few. I mean, there's been a rave about one of your talents, Bucci Franklin. So, tell me about that.
Wow, that's interesting. So Bucci and I met like 13 years ago. When we came to Lagos for an audition, AYSP audition. It was an interesting journey. I said it so many times. So my journey with Bucci was I went there. I think I came up with I had a company back then. It was not a company, it was an idea called Split City. So I went for the audition to get models for a project. And on getting there, a friend of mine introduced me to Bucci. Bucci just came in from Abuja to Lagos for an audition for AY script. And he had nowhere to go back.
Okay.
So I just told him, since you are here, you have nowhere to go back to. Let's go to my house and stay now.
Still 13 years ago.
Yes, that was 2012.
Okay.
And I was still finding my bearing then. So he just joined me and we went back to my house. So all the companies I've mentioned, which is a director in all these companies.
Oh.
So we all started everything together.
So your real brother.
Yes, exactly. So we are the real brotherly together. So that's how the journey started. But officially, I started managing in 2019, right? And it has been interesting because when I started managing, I decided to bring structure into the management system. And what do I mean by structure? So a lot of times, creatives always know how to do their work, but they don't know the business of it.
Absolutely.
So my specialty is understanding the business part of the creative industry. So in 2019, when we decided to make this formal, I told him that if he can give me, he can trust me, we will get to the Oscars, right? And the first project we did together was Rattlesnake, the Anna story. We did next was Raz Guy. Then we did Far From Home, The Weekend. So it's just been going. And people are just discovering him now. But the truth is, we are aiming for the Oscars because we know he's the only Nigerian. I believe he's the only Nigerian that can confidently get us the Oscars.
So he is the only Nigerian.
I believe so.
Right.
So we're on the road to Oscars for now. So our journey has been interesting.
Nice. One thing I like about you, you're an idea tester. Once the idea comes in, you execute. A lot of people have idea books that would die with them, follow them to the grave. So I like that about you.
Thank you so much.
I want you to touch on process. Because someone will see To Kill a Monkey today and say, I want to have his success. But the reality is this is 13 years together with him, but I'm sure maybe he's probably been in the space for
more than that. Yeah.
So I want to touch on process, character building. So a young creative now, it might not be 5 years, it might not be 10 years, it might be 13 years, it might be 20 years. Talk on just a little bit on that process of, waiting it out and preparing yourself for when the time comes.
Okay, I think for me, I have I would call it a mathematical calculation or a phase calculation of how I've studied the Nigerian creative space, your entry to your blow point.
Yeah.
So it's in 3 phases. The first phase as a creative is when you are introduced into the industry. I'll give you a practical example. If you're a music artist, and you are singing in your room or singing in church or singing with your guys and nobody knows, you are not yet an artist yet. When you become a full artist is when you take that when you're courageous enough to go to the studio, record, finish recording, and now publish it, and now start promoting it, right? That is the first process. So I always tell people that the process first starts with introducing yourself into the industry, right? Then when you introduce yourself into the industry, now we know that this person is an artist, right? The next process is blowing in the industry. So what do I mean by blowing in the industry? There are so many music artists. I'm sure you know like 20 music artists that are your friends or people that sing, right?
Yeah.
What makes you different in the industry is when your colleagues say, oh, that person is very good. Very, very good. Now, let me use a practical example for myself. Let me use Bucci. So Bucci was introduced into the industry with AY script. No, he started his journey, introduced into industry with AY script in 2012, right? Bucci blew in the industry in 2020 with Rattlesnake. So the world did not know him like now, but they knew that in the industry, every actor that went to the cinema to watch that film said, oh, this guy, you get range. I know if you do this thing where you do, so you good. At the back of themselves, they'll tell themselves, oh, this guy is even better than me. So that's when you blow in the industry. Like an artist, now you see an artist come up, then you see, if you notice some music artists, you see them, they are featuring, people just start featuring them. Like, for example, now you have Fola, there's a guy called Fola. Everybody just featuring Fola because the industry knows that Fola is good. So everybody wants to rush and feature him, right? Then the third phase is where they call mass blowing, where grassroots, everybody go see you.
Bomb blowing.
That's where Bucci is right now, where, trust me, everywhere I go with Bucci. So the three phases are introducing yourself into industry, blowing in the industry, and the mass blowing. So this thing takes time. If you look at Bucci's experience, it took him 12, 13 years to do that. Some other people, it takes them less. But now what is the trick and what do I advise my other talents under me? That I tell them, regardless of the timing, it's your personal, your attitude, how passionate you are, how determined that will determine how long you spend in each phase. Right? If you're introduced into the industry today and you're a hard worker, you're an artist and you're a studio rat, you go to the industry every day, you're writing for this, writing for that. People know this guy is good. Over time, people start featuring you. So it might not take as long as 13 years. But the truth is, there's no timeline to these things. The most important thing you have to have is determination, patience, and you have to be a hard worker. Because everybody's working in the creative industry. Every day you see talents doing various things. But how do you supersede those people that are working every day? What do you add? What is your own unique sale? What is the thing that you have to do to make yourself supersede them? I always tell my talents that there's a protocol I use for everybody. Every week you must tell me one thing you've learned. And what do I mean by that? YouTube is there for everybody to learn. Half of the things I know today, I learned them from YouTube, right? Last year, when I wanted to flesh up my decisions management, I did a YouTube course for 3 months on talent development. A professor in India already has a module of courses, I think like 20 courses, that is on YouTube. Every day, I spend 1 hour listening to each course. So right now, I know I've developed myself in talent management and so many other things. Media marketing, I also learned it on YouTube. Video production, I learned everything I know today on YouTube. So I always tell people that you cannot tell me that you are being stagnant because your family or your village people, all those things are lies. You have to know how to push yourself. So back to your question, you have to, learn every day, you have to persevere, and you have to know that there's a God factor in this thing. Whatever God has said is going to happen is going to happen. There are so many people that are very talented but not get to that place they want to go because they did not, I will not say they did not believe in God, but they did not connect to God through their talent. Right? So you have to see how you can use your talent to connect to God.
Yeah, so now it's very obvious that you have this eagle eye. You don't see you're not just looking at the present, you're looking at the future. So when you take these young creatives under your wing, what is that particular feature that you're looking out for? What is it about each of your talents that is common amongst all of them? What is that you see a young person, you see like what's that person? What's that thing that make you say that make you want to have a conversation with this person because you feel like this person is
Gonna go far, right?
yeah.
So I think when I first spend my first 10 minutes with any creative, I actually know whether I'm going to take you on or not. And how do I know that? I ask specific questions.
Okay.
How do you see yourself? What do you want to achieve?
Okay.
If you meet a creative and say, as I did like this, I just when I blow like this, I won't buy Benz, I won't buy this, I just say,
Bye.
But if I meet a creative person is an artist tells me, I see, bro, I will not lie to you, I see myself on the Grammy stage. That means you are ready. Or I see a talent and the person tells me, Oscars is where I want to be. That means you are going to put the work to get to the Oscars now. Yeah. So when I listen to them and I hear how passionate they are to their peak point, then my job is to now guide you to get to that peak point. So I think it's not really by noticing them, it's what comes out of their mouth.
Has there been a time where one of the talents don't stick to what they actually said to you initially?
A lot of times.
So you dropped them.
I've had fallout with various talents, because sometimes we're in a country where we have a lot of people that speak a lot and few doers. So you can see someone say, I will do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And when you now start getting to see small money, you start getting the real, you start getting
the real you comes out.
Exactly. You now start pushing women, you start doing every other thing that is not in discussion. So the journey will also let me understand your perspective to your vision, whether you are really on track to get it or you are just saying it with mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you said something about YouTube.
Yeah.
This process of building anything, people think, you have to go to Watson
MIT.
Business School, MIT, and the rest. I think YouTube is a very, very underutilized source. I like the fact that you've done courses there that have molded you into. I sleep on YouTube, and literally everything. If you want to learn how to tie S knot with a thing to your boat,
Just go
it's
on
on
YouTube. Yeah.
If you want to learn how to master speaking,
Just go on YouTube.
you understand? So it's literally up to you to now decide that, look, I want to learn. I want to have that learning habit, culture, and go for it, So you've handled corporate. You've handled personal. Is there a difference?
There's a lot of difference, my brother. I'll not lie to you. So in corporate communication or corporate hierarchy, you have over 10 people that have to approve a project. So you come up with a wonderful idea. You start hearing it does not align with our brand culture. It does not this with that. You also have to know that there's a lot of hierarchy in people that you have to please. So what that does to creativity is it diminishes your idea. For example, you come up with a very flashy idea or a big concept, right? The corporate people say, no, this one, you see, they are not thinking in line with our brand culture, right? But if it's a personal brand, right, I always tell people that on the journey to personal branding, two things happen. It's either you learn or I learn, right? So if you tell me, okay, I don't want to do this as a brand, I don't want this will affect my brand. Let me give you a practical example. I have a talent to tell me if the brand coming from me is not a big brand, I will not accept it. Right? That talent today does not have money.
Can never happen. Yeah.
Right? And I told him this thing that, my brother, before you get to big brands, there's what they call brand perception. Other brands want to see you with other brands before they touch you. They have to see how you relate with smaller brands. If you have a brand culture, then they can now partner with you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that brand culture, why will a big brand like Unilever just come and touch you? Because you have talent. Everybody has talent, right? So it's a face with a personal brand. It's easy to experience fast and learn fast. Trust me, I've been in so many company end of the year ideation sessions where you see head of marketing, head of corporate communication will come and will be rambling. Next year we're going to do this. Go. You talk everything you want to do next year. First quarter of next year, they're back to what they were doing last year. Right? But if it's a personal brand, after you don't do, when you spend 3 months doing something and it's not working, you switch. When you do something and it's not working, you switch. So it's easier to work with personal brands.
Because like you're testing.
Yes. But the only difference with the two of them is that corporate pays more. Personal does not pay that much. You have to grow with the personal brand before you start earning a lot of money.
So personal gives you chance to explore quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yes.
corporate pays the bills. Pays the big bills.
Corporate pays the bills.
Okay, so you said something before about some of the talents you've had. They've tested the success, and young people like overnight success. So, what are the pitfalls you have seen is most common? What happens to these young people when they get to spotlight, just small thing, and then it gets to your head. So, what would you say to these people and be like, oh, you should avoid this if you want to stay in this business much longer? You should avoid this if you want your brand to go much further, because honestly, fame can be very distracting. When you feel like, oh, I finally got to what I want, what is that thing you can say to them to stay in the business and still stay locked in?
Yeah, so the truth is, one major problem is when people start experiencing exposure. I call it exposure because as a talent, when people don't know you yet, you see them very loyal, very hardworking, very everything. But once they get a little bit of exposure, right, you find out that they start listening to all the things that's coming to their ears. Don't do this, don't do this. It's going to spoil your brand. Don't wear this, don't wear this, don't wear that. And it might be from a direction, or we might be coming from somewhere where we have a vision for where we want to go to.
Okay.
Now, when you start listening to everything that people tell you, it starts distracting you.
Yeah.
So someone will tell you, your management, no, so management is supposed to do. This is not how they're supposed to do it. This is not, and it goes into their ears because at that point, it's social media now. They are DMing them, they are sending them Twitter, they are sending them on TikTok. So people are talking to them, right? So I think the major problem for most people when they attain limelight or get exposure is distraction from what they hear from other people. If they can just be more, if they can just follow to the direction where they have been touring already, I think they will be more focused.
And it also has to do with still staying in tune with. I feel like having a manager is like very, very important, because having a personal relationship with your manager, because you come to him and be like, sir, this and this is happening, because you give this fatherly vibe and kind of thing. So I feel like you could be correct. You are correct, in fact. So coming back to having a manager, because I don't think it's really that easy to. It's very possible to grow oneself as a brand, but it's much easier to work with someone who has experienced the. Yeah, I'm just like in support of what you just said.
Yeah, and the truth about being a manager is, as a manager, you're not just a friend.
Yeah.
You're also a therapist, because these talents, they also have issues we have. They go through heartbreak. They go through money, there's no money. They go through family saying, you don't blow, you don't send me money. So as a manager, you always have to be emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
To understand this is not the right thing to do right now. There are times I tell my talents, we cannot send your parents money right now. I work with labels to manage the artists. So sometimes there's what they call advance in music industry, where the label gives the management maybe 50 million to run for a year. Now the 50 million, the artists will rush and tell their parents, oh, they don't give me 50 million. Thinking that the parents will be happy for the person, right? 2 weeks down the lane. So they gave you 50 million, 1 naira we've not seen at home. Is it 50 million for home or for your project? Now, imagine now that 50 million goes down that year. I don't send anything home. And the money has finished and you are not blown. So it means you've lost 50 million and you've lost the relationship with your parents. So most of the time, the manager has to be there to just help you emotionally, keep you sane, let you know there's a journey, and just direct you on that path. So having a manager is a very, very important thing I advise creatives. It's easy. It's not easy to maintain a manager, but I think the best thing to do is always find someone that believes in your vision.
Yeah.
So when the money is not there, it's still there. When the money is there, you all make money together.
Okay. So from a marketing communications perspective, how do you shape talent into strong brands?
Okay. So like I explained earlier, there's what they call brand perception, right? So, for example, when I see a raw talent, I have this new talent I just discovered from Mushi. So I discovered him when I did a camp this year, a music camp, and the guy came very, very good. He has written for so many artists. I can't mention their names right now. So many big artists, and most of them wanted to sign him as a songwriter, right? But when I heard him, I was like, "Oh, this guy is very good, though." But his looks, he's from Mushi. You will see that this boy is from Mushi. You will know he's not like, he's not really posh. So what did I do? I said, because I'm used to market, you know how to package and brand things. What I did is I touched him up, did a photo shoot for him, short visualizers, did everything. Trust me, everybody that wanted to sign him before have been rushing. How far now? Is this you? Have you this? So my process is when I see a raw talent, you brand them first, you create a persona of the person. So we look at your future image. How is your future image going to be like, right? How is your present image? What do we need to do to get to this place? What are the things we need to do one by one by one? So as money starts coming or any form of investment start coming, you start putting into growing yourself, right? And like I said, the most important part is learning. Like I don't mention, I was trying to explain, I tell my talent every week, you must have a topic you learn on YouTube and we will discuss it. It's a trick for me because when you go and learn something on YouTube and you've learned it and you know it, you come and now start telling me, you will now be gisting about it. I'm also learning. I don't need to go and read that same thing on YouTube. But it's what you like, what interests you. For example, an artist can say, "Oh my bro, you know that when I went on YouTube, I found out there are extra ways to make money apart from digital streaming, apart from this." Like, I really, how? I saw one platform, it's called Sound Exchange. It helps you get mechanical rights, blah, 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 blah. You see, he's knowing that, he's helping himself, and it's also helping me as the manager to know that, oh, there are leakages in these places we have not seen, right? So growing from a raw talent to a master class talent or a world class talent involves branding, involves learning, involves going on your path. And it's what we call a brand Bible. For every talent I take on, we create a brand Bible. And the brand Bible is created from when you are still raw, right? But we always try to make sure that we revisit it because taste and fashion changes. So what we try to do is every year we revisit your brand Bible to say, what do we need to upgrade? What do we need to downplay? What do you think is obsolete? What do you think is futuristic? So those are the things we do to make sure we take it from point A to point Z. So I'll use a practical example. If you're all hungry, I want to eat jollof rice. When the hunger starts, when the first person goes to the market, the hunger is at what level? Maybe 20%. They go to the market. When they come back from the market, the hunger is at like 50%, right? They cook, they put everything together. The rice starts boiling. They put everything into the pot. It has not started boiling, right? The hunger will be like 70%. Do you know when the hunger gets most? When you start smelling the food. And when you're smelling the food, it will be making...
Your belly will just start churning.
And the pot is shaking, right? That's you're all waiting. And after when the food gets done, what will happen? There will be no sound again. The pot is now ready. So the waiting period is that period where the pot is boiling. You're asking yourself, are you good? I've done so much. I've tried everything. I've been here. I've done this. It's not working. That is the waiting period. And like you said, spirituality is very, very good at that period because I tell people, let me use an example. They shot To Kill a Monkey 2023, right? And it took them over 2 years to edit it and bring it out. So imagine Bucci filming that whole thing, the whole crew seeing it, everybody's so happy that this is going to be a game changer for you, Bucci, right? And for the rest of the crew. And it takes them 2 years to come out. He has done other productions that have come out after that time, right? But he had to wait because we knew when we did that was going to be his major big break. Now, To Kill a Monkey came out in July 18th, right? And 3 or 4 months ago, my friend Bucci said, Omo, is this how I just continue every day, just shooting, and there's no major film that will skyrocket me from where I am to the next level? And that's when I told him about this waiting period. That right now, your rice is not nearly done. What you need to do at this period is to make sure that you don't spoil anything that's going to obstruct that time that you're going to
Yeah,
get to.
yeah.
Because when we're all experiencing our waiting periods, right? That's when let me be a little bit religious and philosophical, right? Remember that time when Jesus Christ was being tempted by the devil, the 40 days and fasting period, right? That's when the devil will come to you. The devil knows that you are about to attain your height. He will now tell God, say, God, let me test this guy. This guy is not ready for that thing. He will now start bringing distractions to you. So the waiting period advice creatives is during that period, you are supposed to be more spiritual. Hold on to God, pray, reduce your vices, right? Because reduce everything that can affect your journey.
Yeah.
So the waiting period is very key for every creative, and every successful creative will always tell you that there was a waiting period, a definite time that you lost hope, you lost focus, you lost everything. And after just that time, like they say, after the end of the tunnel, there's always
There's
light.
light.
You have to get to the end of the tunnel now. If you don't get to the end of the tunnel, you'll not see the light. So the end of the tunnel is that waiting period.
Okay, so you mentioned something about brand perception and creating a structure around your talent. So, for every creative watching this, listening, that has raw talent but lacks the connection and the money or the structure, what's your piece of advice that you can give to help them convert their talent to
paper, to cash.
currency?
Yeah, very interesting. So I'll use practical examples for myself and every other person who has come into the creative industry. The first thing is to know what you are good at first. Once you know, like most people do, the next thing to do is to go to where your peers are, network. There's something people say, opportunity that means preparedness means you're lucky. So luck is opportunity plus preparedness, right? If you are prepared, all you need is opportunity, right? Let me give you a back end story. So when I was all those years that I was spending my time in university, I'm not taking myself serious.
Doing your PhD.
A friend of mine took me back then. I was all those boys that I always found myself having a car. I don't know how.
Big boy.
Just do one or two hustles, you just get a car. So I was that guy that if anybody wants to go out, they'll say, Daily get a car, we'll go meet them, right? So one of these days, one of all these not really area boy, all these political quote talks just to me. My guy, what did you do? I said, nothing. Let's go and meet one politician. We went to see the politician that day. I drove him there. On getting to the reception, he said, wait. He went upstairs. He told me, take anything, drink anything. Now the politician this is the politician's hotel. So trust me, now just they down my beer, just they see today I will eat. Give me turkey, give me this, I was enjoying myself, having fun. So they finished their meeting and came downstairs. And the politician then was an Igbo man that was contesting for House of Rep in Lagos. That never happened before. So the guys, when he came down, he saw the other guy, all the political talks and quotes that came. He saw me, I was like,
You're different.
You're different. You know what? I want to use you as an example to this community. What can you do? I will sponsor it right now. Wait till I do that time. Now drink now, flex. So I just started bamboo, talking here, talking left, talking right. And the guy said, no. Now, do I know what luck is? I said, no. He said, luck means opportunity means prepared. This is the opportunity you would have elevated your life. So I took that I held onto that for a long time. So I tell creatives that if you are prepared, go and network within your environment. Go to places where you can see your fellow creatives. Like I told you, I was a PA first before I became a video producer. When I was a PA, we used to paint, we used to carry wire. As a PA, you will walk, you will think, you will do all those things. But from there, you will be spotted out and you'll be elevated. So my advice to every creative is know your talent and network with your team. Network in your environment, your area of specialty. I believe if you network there, you can find the opportunity that will take you from point A to point B and from point B to point C.
I love it. There's this book I read, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. It says you create your own luck. I think there were like 3 levels of luck. Like one level was like how you mistakenly came to meet a political person. I think the highest level is you create it. So in the sense where you go and learn something that is unique to you, something that you can't learn or she can't learn. So it's like acne. If for instance you are a specialist in acne now, when you start doing 20 patients a day at 50K, people say, that guy is lucky. But the reality is that he sets himself up for luck. And that is a very, very major key. Like, opportunities will come, but if you can actually create opportunities that you're unique with, it changes the whole game entirely. So
Very true. Very true.
So from this interview on this our beloved podcast, our man has said, so I'm going to give you a nickname. I always give our guests nicknames. So Mr. Dells, I'm going to call you Mr. Dells.
I'll call him Father Dele.
I think I prefer Mr. Dells.
So to break things down, you've talked about passion, talked about developing skills, learning, YouTube. You said you create your own luck, and that in this life you have to always understand the waiting period.
Yes, very true.
Your jollof rice. You have to
allow it done.
Allow it done well. And from that point, and at the dunning part, don't do anything to jeopardize that beautiful pot that you have been brewing for however long it has been. You have been amazing.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go on to this segment called Quick Fire Questions. I'll ask you 3 questions. Quick fire. Number 1. Creative you like to manage.
Damson Idris.
Favorite Nigerian food.
Eba and okra soup.
Favorite podcast.
Creative Money Podcast.
Just save
Alright, so before we bid thee farewell, we have a little something just to say thank you for gracing us with your presence.
With your presence,
Thank
being a
you
star.
Thank you, Creative Money. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself here.
This
is my first time on camera. I've always been behind the camera, so this is my first time here.
This was amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, before we draw the curtains to a close, follow us on IG at Get Creative Money and on YouTube at Creative Money Africa. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share our content across your social media platforms. So before we go, Tank, do you have anything to say bye-bye to our people?
This is CMP, Creative Money Podcast. Stay tuned. We're going to be dishing out some creative. Some jollof is going to be jollofing all the time. So, see y'all next one.